wpky@gmail.com. We'll broadcast a community prayer on this station every day around 10 in the morning and 10 in the evening. Before our morning prayer at 10, we will ring bells as requested by Governor Andy Beshear. We will get through this together.
1580 103.3 WPKY. And, of course, on the phone this morning, we love them. It's our Caldwell Medical Center. Good morning, ladies. How are you? Are you there, ladies? Good morning.
Morning.
There they are. Of course, I know Miss Mandy Smiley is there this morning. Who else you got with you?
It's Beth Conger.
Miss Beth, how are you?
I'm good.
I don't know whether you heard me or not, but I told you to kick Mr. Smiley's side of the bed on the way out. Don't let him sleep in.
No, he's not allowed. He has to get up, too.
That's right. We love him to death. I will say I pick on him a lot. We call him Slimy not too long ago because he had a really... He does a lot with the kids, and we love him to death for that. He's a good sport about it, I will say. And speaking of sports, it looks like we've got some kids, and mine included, that's about time for a sports physical. It's about that time of year, right?
Yes, it is. Now that they are... It looks like they're going to start allowing kids to play sports after the 15th of June, a lot of the sports. So
isn't that fun? I'll tell you, nothing says summertime like a little sports, a little competition.
Absolutely.
Well, I think, it's good for the parents, too, in a lot of ways, because those kids have got a lot of energy that they need to get out.
Yes, they do.
They call it what we used to call it the Wiggles, and I think by the time they're teenagers, it's no longer the Wiggles. I don't know what you call it, but the Wiggles, I don't think quite get it. So how do we go about doing that? How do we, because I know that at one point, don't we have to fill out a form?
Yes, we're going to have the clinic, the sports physical clinic, at the Little John office. It's going to be next Wednesday and Thursday, from 4:30 to 6:30, and everybody needs to call and make an appointment. And before your appointment, you'll need to go on the KHSAA website and print off the sports physical form and bring it with them. Yeah, and there's two different ones. There's a high school one and a middle school one, so parents or whoever's printing it off need to pay attention to which one they're getting.
Oh, I would imagine that makes a big difference, doesn't it?
There's a few different things between them. The differences there, but and then they'll just need to fill out the first couple of pages, and then we'll fill out the rest when they get there.
Well, and I'll tell you, I was one of those moms at one time. Of course, I guess now I feel like an old lady. I've done it so many times. But, if you're early on in your being the sports mom career, you might not know that there's actually a difference in a sports physical. Because if you go in and say, well, my kid had its physical. No. Sports physicals, that's a different monster.
Absolutely. Yes, it is. There's some questions that our providers, need to look at with the students and pay particular attention to with some different different things that they might do in a sports that they might get injured, or they want to make sure that their muscles are working like they should and everything's good before they go out there and try to play a sport. So
right. And that's, it's just a good thing. It's a good thing because if they get out there and they pull something or suddenly they have a breathing problem, a lot of times Dr. Mike can look at that and find little things and help them out.
Absolutely. We want to make sure they are in good shape before they get out there on the field or the court or wherever they're going to play.
Okay, remind us again, because do we need appointments first?
You do need appointments. We want to try to keep the crowd control. We're still dealing with the COVID pandemic out there, so we want everybody to make appointments. We are going to ask the adult that brings the students to remain in their car, and if the students have a mask, we ask that they wear those also.
Well, and I know that some parents might say, surely there won't be. I will tell you. There are more children in this area that are athletes than what you think.
Oh, yeah.
And when you get them all in one location,
that's a lot.
I'm just saying, I might have been in that line a time or two. So, go ahead and make sure that you do that. And they'll be fine. And mine's been through it, and I didn't have to go in, and everything was good, and he felt like a big boy. So, it's kind of their time to put on their big boy and girl shoes and get that done, right?
That's right.
And, of course, again, the mask and all of that's a great idea. That's the things that you need to do. And you're going to be checking for temp and stuff like that before they come in, right?
Yes, we are. We're going to be screening them just like we would if anyone was coming out here to the hospital, but we'll do a temperature check, ask them a few questions just to make sure they're feeling okay before we bring them in. We'll have someone escorting them to their room where they'll see the provider. Of course, we'll, do the vision checks and the heights and the weights and all of that. Then take them to a room, and then after they're finished with the actual sports physical, we'll have someone escort them back out of the building to their car to make sure they get their paperwork and they get back to whoever brought them safely. And, of course, we're always going to be cleaning those rooms in between every single student that we see, so you don't have to worry about the rooms. They will be disinfected appropriately in between each person. So,
I love that. I'll tell you, woman, I don't know how you guys are doing it because you're double duty in it because you're continuing these testings, right?
We are. We did. We continued them through June, so we're doing every Monday in June. We had a good turnout last night, and we're continuing on. Seems to be a desire for folks to still be tested, so we want to meet that need, and we're doing it every Monday through June, so they can call and schedule that as well.
Well, I think what is that saying? The curiosity killed the cat. I don't know. It's one of those things. You just want to know, even if you're not hacking. Yeah. It's like the curiosity. It's like, I had a cold back in January. I wonder, it's the curiosity's there. And I think it goes beyond that, though. I think, if you've got a function coming up, you want to make sure that, you're keeping everybody else safe, too.
Right. Sure. Yeah.
And I think that's wonderful that you guys are extending that. Do we know how long yet that we're going to do this?
We're going to do it every Monday in June. I think we've got 4 Mondays left. June was a big month. We had 5 Mondays total, so the 8th, the 15th, the 22nd, and the 29th. As of right now, the 29th may be the last day. But again, if we see that there's still a big interest from the community, we may extend into July. We don't know just yet, but those 4 Mondays are left. We're doing it from 3:30 to 5:30 in the afternoon. That way folks, when they get off work or whatever, can stop by. We're still asking that you call the COVID number to schedule an appointment as well. But, yeah, we're looking forward to 4 more weeks of it. So.
Well, and I'll tell you, it's one of those things that you say you don't, it's almost a little nerve-wracking. But, we don't have to wait a week and a half for our results anymore. I mean, now you do ask people, I will say that if you're going to take a test, to go ahead and self-isolate for a few days. It's up to 72 hours?
Yes, absolutely. We ask them to self-isolate, just to, go home, don't go to Walmart, don't go out and about, but go home until we call you with those test results. And it's usually about 48 to 72 hours from the time we ship them to the lab. Then we have a result back, and we can give them a call and let them know, negative or positive. So.
Well, and I think it's kind of a mix right now. I think some people are scared to death and they don't want to know. And I think there's some people that say, there's a portion of them say, I don't want to know. I just don't want to know. And then there's the other part of them that say, you know what? I got to know. So, what have you seen the most of? Are people reluctant? Are they very, anxious to get it done? Or are they reluctant? Or...
The ones that come, they do really, really well. We have a competition usually if it's, we have a lot of husbands and wives that come, and we have a competition between whether the wife or the husband is better. So we make it kind of fun as they're coming through. So
I love that.
It seems to be, I think the women are doing the best. So.
Well, we do bear children, so I'm just saying a COVID test, versus maybe having children, that this doesn't compare, does it? I mean,
No.
Yeah, whatever. Swab what? How long does it take to get that test?
Oh, gosh, just, from the point of us asking a few questions that we have to gather when they pull up, we have 2 stations set up, and we have someone that comes out and asks making sure what signs and symptoms they may have had, going over the self-isolation and giving them some education on that. And then they pull up to the next station, and we actually do the testing there. The testing itself takes about 10 to 15 seconds. So it's just a quick swab of the nose, and then they're on their way after that. So all in all, probably, 5 minutes, 10 minutes, depending on how cars we have in line, but pretty fast. So.
Well, and I do want to, I can remind them all day, but Mandy Smiley, I want you to remind these people that every time you sneeze, it does not mean you have corona.
That's true. You are right. Probably allergies.
I think about this time last year, Caldwell Medical Center and I were sitting here talking about allergies and how horrible they're.
Yes.
And I think just because there's something called coronavirus does not mean that allergies do not exist anymore. Is that correct?
Correct.
Okay.
That is correct. Yes.
Just wanted to make sure.
Yes.
All right. Well, these physicals, one more time for us. Remind us when and how and who and all that good stuff.
All right, so they are next week, the 10th and 11th, Wednesday and Thursday, from 4:30 to 6:30. They will need to call to make an appointment, and the number is 365-1225. They need to remember to bring a mask if they have one, and to print out their physical exam form from the KHSAA website. And I think that's it.
Well, that sounds good. I'm telling you, these two ladies right here are going to need like the key to the city, Coda. Because you guys are just ridiculous. I don't see how you do what you do, but you have really been on the front lines for us, and you've stayed there from the very beginning. So we appreciate that very much. Tell everybody what you do, by the way. What's your title? It's the preventionist. It's the other word that I can't say with the preventionist. So you go ahead and tell them.
I do infection prevention here at the hospital.
And I'm the compliance officer for the hospital.
Well, that's an easier way to say it. Anyway, these ladies are lovely, and we love them to death, and thank you so much for all you do. And let us know, and maybe next week we'll remind everybody right before all this stuff, okay?
All right, and we forgot to add that everybody gets a free T-shirt that comes from physical.
My son, every year, that's what he wants, is he wants the T-shirt. I don't even think he wants this physical.
Yeah.
It's like a rite of passage. You know when you get older and you get the little sticker that says I voted and everybody wears it around? It's like, oh, yeah, I voted. Well, see, when you've got the sports physical shirt on, everybody knows you're an athlete, see?
You're an athlete, yep.
You got to think like a 13-year-old.
That's right.
Thank you, ladies. Have a great day.
Thank you. You too.
Of course, Miss Mandy Smiley and Beth Conger. And, Mr. Smiley should have been there because I picked on him anyway. So anyway, with the Caldwell Medical Center, we thank them so much for everything they do. Of course, our sports physicals for our kids, those are going to be next week. So stick around. If you missed anything, of course, including our interview, if you missed any of that or missed the details, community calendar, we'll be having that on it every day just to remind you until it's time. But then we'll also have it on our website. So you can check that out anytime. It's WPKYonline.com. Stick around. Miss Nan's in the house. We're going to talk to her next on PKY.
High school sports was put on pause, but pause doesn't mean stop. Sports continues at yoursportsedge.com. We're talking to the athletes, finding out what they're doing to get ready for their upcoming season for when the unpause button is pushed. We're delving into history to bring you stories of interest that you may remember or you may be learning about for the first time. But most importantly, we're giving you sports every day. A lot of things have changed, but that hasn't. Like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter, but more importantly, visit us at yoursportsedge.com, giving you your sports every day.
We at the Edge Media Group believe in the power of prayer. That's why we're asking you to pray for our community. It's simple. Just record yourself on your phone and email us your prayer. Give your name and record your prayer. We'll do the rest. Email your prayer to prayerswpky@gmail.com. We'll broadcast a community prayer on this station every day around 10 in the morning and 10 in the evening. Before our morning prayer at 10, we will ring bells as requested by Governor Andy Beshear. We will get through this together.
1580 103.3 WPKY. And of course, I love her. She's Miss Nan, and she's in the house. I think everybody looks forward to her coming. And there was in the past a whole joke about cookies, but we're not going to start that this year. Well, I'm going to leave her alone. I'm going to leave her alone about the cookies this morning, but I'll tell you, how are you, Miss Nantucket?
I am wonderful. Wonderful, wonderful.
I said it felt so good to see her smiling face this morning. I loved it. I think I missed it. I'm telling you, I have missed visiting with people. And we've talked to people on Coffee Talk throughout this whole thing. I don't think we missed, any time at all talking to people. And we tried to catch up. But it's not the same when you don't see their face, I don't think. It's just not the same.
And I'm sure it's different not having both you and Ty in here at the same time.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. And just, it's been...
He left me, Nan. I think...
Well, it's just this time is just a difficult time for everybody.
Well, it is.
But at the same time, I feel closer to people. Does that make sense?
No, it does. I think we all do. I think it's one of those things where I think you feel like you're in it with somebody else, that you're not alone. Like there's all these other people are doing it too.
And even people that I talk to, I've had this program going on, which we're going to talk about, but even people that I've talked to on the phone that are home alone, when you talk to them, you just feel so connected. And that's the best part about what I love about what I do.
I told him earlier,
connecting.
I said, this lady, if she don't know a number, she'll figure out a number, or she'll find out a way. I mean, it's one of the... Tell them what you do, who you work for, and the whole 9 yards.
Okay, my name is Nantucket. I work for PACS, Penny Route Allied Community Services. Most people, when you hear PACS, you think about the buses, and that is under our umbrella. However, I work for the Community Service Block Grant, and I do what most people know is heating assistance. It's the LAHEAP, Low Income Heating Energy Assistance Program. I also have all kinds of other programs that I do. But basically, I help people when they get in a situation that it's kind of hard to get out of. I do whatever I can to help them get out of that situation financially.
Well, and you know what? It's easy to get into those situations. When you're talking about hundreds of dollars worth of energy cost, I mean, that hurts you all the way around.
It does. And when people are on fixed incomes and they get that $200 electric bill because it's cold, that's what our LAHEAP program is exactly designed for, is people who are on low income, fixed income, give them a little help through the winter.
Well, we had talked about it before, and they said, I just, some of our elderly, the thought of getting, it just embarrasses them. The thought of having to admit they need help, it embarrasses them. And so, well, I never had to do that. Well, you know what? The energy cost didn't ever cost as much as it does now either. And that's kind of the way I look at it. You've got to change the way you look at it. If you need help, you need help.
Absolutely, absolutely. And even now, with what's happened over the last few months, we have more people that have been out of work. It took them a long time to get their unemployment. Well, don't be embarrassed to come and see me. I get it. I get it. When you don't have income, but you've still got bills coming in, sometimes you just need a little hand up. I don't give handouts.
I love that. That is my favorite thing. I think I'm going to put it on a T-shirt one of these days when you come in. I'm going to have it. I love that. She started saying that last year, and I said, yeah, I love that. I need a hand up. It's
That's
not a
right.
handout. It's a hand up.
We just get into situations. I've been in situations, and sometimes you just have to tell somebody, this is where I am. I've been paying it forward my whole life. Of course, nobody's going to say that, but if you think of it that way, you're always helping other people. Sometimes it has to come full circle, and you need a little help too.
I'm going to tell you what, I'm not going to lie about it. A couple of months ago, I'd even, I don't even think we even really talked about it. I contacted her and said, I don't know what to do. Mm-hmm. And it wasn't necessarily with me. It was, with an older family member. And I said, I needed help, and I didn't know who to call. So you know who I called? I called Nan. And it's one of those situations where, you may not necessarily be the person to call, but I guarantee you can figure out who will.
Well, sure. I have a lot of partners in Caldwell County. I have a lot of people out there, and I wish I could name them by name, but I don't have time, because I have people calling me right now saying, who do you need to help and who can you not cover, because we have a little bit. There's not always a lot, and there's only so much per month, and we have to stretch it out. But at the same time, if you need, even if you just need some information, give me a call, because if I don't know it, I have all these people in Caldwell County, and I can start making a few phone calls, say, this is what we need, how can we help?
Now, what about, I know we had a milder winter this year, where it wasn't necessarily, it wasn't as bad as it has been in years past. Did that help, the amount of funds and how long we were able to maybe drag it out?
Yes, that's kind of what I want to talk about today, because I don't know what the reason is, but we have something that we've never had in a long, long time. Apparently they had this once before, but never have I seen it, and it's called LAHEAP, Low Income Heating Energy Assistance Program. But we have a spring program, and we've never had that before.
Really?
So it's a subsidy program. We just came out of LAHEAP crisis. That's where we actually pay your bill. It has to be late, or you have to have a disconnection notice. This is a little different bird. You don't have to have a disconnection notice. We're not paying your actual bill, but we're going to give you, if you financially qualify, a subsidy. It's a small little credit onto your electric bill, your propane bill, your Atmos bill, if you need kerosene. We're going to give you a little credit that's going to help you purchase that later on. What happens if, for instance, if we put it on your electric bill? It takes up to 8 weeks to actually reach your account, up to 8 weeks, but our girl is really good, so sometimes it's sooner than that. But as soon as all the paperwork is done, they place a credit onto your account. So you apply today, and maybe your July or your August bill is not going to be as much as it would be, and that's going to give you a little boost.
That's wonderful, because that's right there in the middle of air conditioner, oh my gravy, my electric's high kind of time.
Absolutely, absolutely. And I can't tell you exactly how much your credit's going to be until we actually apply, because it's determined by income and how many is in the household, all of that. And once we apply, and even if you think you won't qualify, you call me, because I know exactly how much you can make depending on how many people are in your household, and I can talk you through that. And maybe you might not qualify for this one, but I may have something else that you would. I may have a partner that could help. So just give me a call and let's talk.
Well, and maybe it's not you. Maybe it's a family member that's struggling.
Yes.
And, that's a phone call you need to make. And that's a phone call you need to make sure that they make.
Absolutely, absolutely. If you know somebody, just give them my number. Say, hey, go down and see Nan. Well, actually, you're not going to come down and see me, because my office is closed to clients. I am doing everything either over the phone, through email. If I have to even use the U.S. Postal Service, that's what I'm doing. So we're working it out.
No, I get it. It's just that way. It really is.
Yes.
Right now, it's that way. But I think, for the most part, I think everybody has been gracious about it. I think everybody's kind of, you get those. I get grouchy about it sometimes, too. I'm like, oh, for Pete's sake, really? When are we done with this? Everybody has one of those days. But I think, for the most part, our community has been really good about recognizing, that they can't just come in and do the things the way that, business as usual.
Well, I have to tell you that we've kind of had a lot of fun with it.
No.
You know me, yes. We've actually kind of had a lot of fun with it. Number one, I've gotten to email a lot of people, and of course I have these little emojis, the little smiley face. And Don't you know I love to send those
Do
things?
you have one of those profile ones that everybody's doing? Those really cute little profile.
No, I think I
people?
need to talk to my IT guy about that.
I don't have one either. I tried to do
Yeah.
it and I looked like Gomer Pyle, so I left it alone.
Oh, well, I've got one on my text, and it kind of looks like me. But anyway, yeah.
Mine doesn't
not on
at
my
all.
Not on my email. Of course, we have to be professional about it. But with email, a lot of times you can't show your emotion when you're just
Right.
typing. So that's why I love the little smiley faces, because
Well, and you never know if somebody's having a bad day and a desperate moment. I mean,
absolutely.
that's why texting and stuff drives me nuts, because it's so hard, especially with my kids. They don't understand. It's like you can sound like you mean something completely different, just with the emotion behind it.
Right.
So if you need a phone call, if you need a chat, I mean, that's always available, right?
Oh, well, I can't tell you how many times that I've talked to some of my clients who just are at their end. And by the time our little conversation is over, they're smiling a little bit.
I'm
because
telling you.
there's always a rainbow.
She is put there because that's where God meant her to be. I'm telling you, because the things that you have to deal with and the people at their wits' end, by the time they get to you, they've already pretty well had it.
Yes, I've what we've been going through has really put a few people at their end, but they don't know that there's something like this out there, and that's why I'm here.
What are the age groups? I mean, I want to throw that out there too, because this is not just for 80-year-old people.
Oh no, I have brand new mommies that are mommies and daddies that are just starting out.
Can you imagine being able to spend $300 on formula instead of an electric bill? Hello.
Oh my goodness, yeah, that's I had a little donation of some formula, so I don't have a lot, but I had a little donation of it, and I had to kind of figure out how much it was, and I went onto the website to find out how much a can of formula.
Oh yeah.
Oh my goodness me. Woo! That was a lot. But,
and if you've got one that maybe has some digestion problems and you've got to use maybe the really the crazy stuff, I'm there. It can really get up there. So I mean, this lady can help with so many different areas. Cooling our community is something that we did last year that I enjoyed so much.
Yes.
And we're going to do it again this year.
Yes,
Can you
we are.
explain to them what that is?
Well, it's we get donated fans. So if you're out at one of the department stores and you see a fan that happens to be on sale and you want to pick it up, $10, $20, whatever it is, you can bring it up here to the radio station and drop it off. It's fans that we donate to families who just need a little extra air moving in the house because it does get so hot.
I'm not going to, it's warm in here today.
It is.
This is just the first week of June, and it's normally good and hot out. I got a little sunburn at the pond yesterday. I'm just saying, it's 90s. It's pushing 90 all week. So, I mean, can you imagine not having an air conditioner? We have an air conditioner, but it's still air moving, and a fan going can make a huge difference.
Absolutely. Maybe you have a window air conditioner and you put that little fan in front of that air conditioner. It's going to help it pull that cool air out into the room. And so we'll have a little fan drive coming up pretty soon. So if somebody wants to drop one off and donate, then we take those and distribute them to families in need.
Now, you take monetary donations as well, right?
Always. Always. That's...
Or will you turn that away, Nan? I mean,
Well, no, it's not something that you want to ask for, but if anybody wants to contribute, absolutely. I get donations, and maybe I have a family that comes in and they've been laid off for a little while and they're having trouble, and they just barely don't qualify for my program.
Right.
Maybe they've had enough income that they just barely don't qualify. I can take those donations and help them out. So we can always use those.
Well, and there's different things that you've had dropped off over the years that, again, maybe a fan's not going to do it, but you can try to get them some assistance in other ways if maybe they need something different.
Like the little donation of baby formula that we had. I had several families that have helped. I still have a little bit, not a lot, but I still have a little bit.
I can't imagine having a new baby and no air conditioner. Are you kidding me?
Oh, my goodness.
That would be miserable.
Oh.
So, I mean, there's things like that. We understand. You don't have to be 80 years old to be hot and miserable. So, and a fan can make a huge difference.
Yes, absolutely.
Give us a phone number.
270.
She was prepared. I wish she could have said, I know that one. Go ahead.
I do know my own number, 270-365-5097. Now, remember, I'm not open to clients. Call me first. If there's some reason why I have to see you face to face, I can do that because I have you pull up into my new location. Remember, I'm not on Cave Street anymore. That's the medical center took over. That's where they're doing the shots now, or the testing. That's not me. I'm down at 307 East Main Street. It's down at the end of Main Street, past the courthouse, past City Hall. Keep on coming straight. If you reach the park, you've gone too far, but you'll see me out there. And if you have to come in, I don't have you come in. I actually come out to the car and see you. So.
Well, and you understand that there may be some folks that don't necessarily work the internet that well, or may not even have internet. I mean, that may be, part of the equation.
Oh, absolutely. When people don't have funds coming in, that's the first thing that they let go. And that's why I will work around whatever. If we have to do it through the mail, or if you have to drive up and come see me, I put on my little gloves and my little mask and come out and see you, and I'll come out and get it and copy it, whatever we have to do to help you out.
I love that. Of course, cooling our communities, we're needing fans, but if you're needing fans, we're going to try to get some fans to give to you. And, of course, those are going to be given out in July, right?
Yes, I believe so.
And then LIHEAP, that's our spring LIHEAP.
Spring LIHEAP, spring LIHEAP subsidy. I just was so excited because I know how expensive it is to cool your home. And I was so excited when we got this program. And they even raised the percentage, so you might not have qualified for LIHEAP crisis. You call me anyway because it went up to 150%.
How much does that do to all those forms that we were begging them to fill out last time? How much did that help?
Oh, the needs assessments. Of course, when people fill out those needs assessments, they take that information and they roll it around and find out what's going on with
Did we
folks.
have good participation?
Oh, absolutely. Caldwell County always does because my people come in and see me and they fill out the form but you can also go online and get it.
Well, see, I think that's great because now we may be able, maybe we're reaping the benefits from some of that now.
It might be because some of the questions were geared towards this. So
wonderful.
Yeah.
Give them a phone number again.
270-365-5097. It's 307 East Main Street.
I'm not going to let her go anywhere. I'm just going to make her sit here and do the news with me and the weather with me. It's Miss Nan Tackett. Of course, she's down at PAX and up at PAX, I guess. You're everywhere with PAX because you're not in one location anymore. She's everywhere, and she'll help you out. Of course, we thank you. And we're going to have her in again and with Cool in our community as well.
Yes, and remember, I'm not the only county that has this. We have 9 counties. Be sure, and if you have internet and you want to go Google, just Google PAX and come into the website, and it'll list all the counties that we have.
No, there's 9 different ones, and they're right there. But she's ours, and that's what we ain't letting her go anywhere. She's ours. It's a Miss Nan Tackett. So thank you so much. We appreciate it. Of course, we've had different ways to help you save money and health-wise today, so stick around. Of course, Miss Robin Shively, she's going to tell us about a blood drive tomorrow. So did you know one of those is going on this week?
Oh, I didn't.
Yeah, down at the Tourist Center on June 5th. So she's going to let us know how to get registered for that and all that good stuff. So stick around. Of course, Audrey Lamb is going to be, she's going to be mad that she missed Nan, number one. But that's okay. Everybody's going to be sad that they did. But if you missed anything, you can go on our website at WPKYonline.com. And here's your WPKY Weather and your Weather Center forecast for today. Looks like sunshine at 86. Tonight, clear, low 66. Tomorrow, sunshine, high 87. And then on Thursday, looks like a little bit of a chance of showers anyway. Thunderstorms in the afternoon. Depends on how much sun heats all that up. If it heats it up enough, up to where it's supposed to, looks like we should have a thunderstorm. Friday, 40% chance of rain, high 88. And then on sunshine Saturday and Sunday, both highs in the upper 80s. It is 70 at 1580, 103.3 WPKY.
Your WPKY Weather Edge Weather Center forecast is brought to you by Penny Rowell Home Medical.
This time of year is perfect to work outside and to freshen up your landscape.
At Mr. Mulch, they're here to help. Open Monday through Friday, 8 till 5, and Saturdays from 8 till 4.
In order to follow the governor's guidelines, they'll serve you at your vehicle.
Buy premium mulch by the bag or Bobcat scoop. They also have decorative rock, driveway gravel, and also garden mix.
And don't forget free delivery in the city limits of Hopkinsville with a 5-yard minimum.
For more info, visit their Facebook page. Mr. Mulch, thanks for supporting small business.
Get into shape and feel good at Trilogy Performance Sports. Trilogy offers a wide range of family-friendly classes as well as personal training, yoga, gymnastics, sports training, cardio, and weightlifting. Trilogy has something for everyone. Trilogy now offers an app with online workouts, live classes, nutrition tracking, and more. Search Trilogy Performance Sports in your app store. Use sign-up code 1824. For app info and more, follow them on Facebook.
Celebrating 70 years of community service. We're 1580, 103.3 WPKY Princeton.
From faulty breakers to broken windows to leaky pipes, roofs, and water heaters, homes and businesses around the country can't work until the pros do. That's why Lowe's created credit programs that work for pros. With everyday 5% savings on eligible purchases, plus through October 31st, 60 days promotional financing on your Lowe's business account or extended terms on eligible account receivables. Learn more in-store or online at lowesforpros.com. Putting money back in your pocket. Just one more reason Lowe's is the new home for pros. Subject to credit approval, U.S. only.
I'm Chris Foster. There are curfews imposed in more than 30 cities and counties around the country in an effort to stop riots and looting happening alongside peaceful protests against police violence. A police officer is shot and wounded during protests in Las Vegas. 4 are shot in St. Louis. Chief John Hayden Jr.
Some coward fired shots at officers, and now we have 4 in the hospital. But thankfully, and thank God, they're not.
In D.C., President Trump